Florida.
If you want to crown them, then crown them. They are who we thought they were.
Game on with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Welcome to the Sunshine State's only true sports talk radio show where we focus on the teams and the topics that are important to you, the sports fan in the Sunshine State. We're Game On with Bianchi Kravitz. I am Bianchi, Mike Bianchi, sports columnist of the Orlando Sentinel. That is Brandon Kravitz, the hardest working man in sports talk radio. Actually, I should say the hardest working man in sports media, Brandon Kravitz. He's a podcaster extraordinaire as well. The prodigy of production, primetime Jaden Grimes, making us sound good on the other side of the glass. We are live in Orlando, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and all points in between on the iHeart Radio app. We appreciate you listening this morning. Kravitz, are you ready for a little sports talk this morning?
I am.
This afternoon.
I'm very much ready. This is it's kind of out of left field a bit. I'm seeing on the screen right here in front of me, Joel Embiid is speaking to the 76ers media on Friday. He has not spoken to the media since February. That seems like this seems like a long hiatus of talking to the media. Still, it's like that's 7 months of not talking to anybody. That's just I don't know.
Well,
I'm digesting this live on the.
I'm talked to somebody.
And anyone in the media. Like, nobody's been able to talk to this guy for 7 months because he doesn't want to answer anybody's questions. The guy's never healthy.
You think he's hurt, so he's not at any of the media availability.
I know. You would think that.
So you think he's just going to call up the media? Hey, I haven't talked to you guys in a while.
I'm sure that there have been requests out there. I don't know. This isn't like some burning take. I'll save that for the 2-minute drill. It was just stood out to me when I saw it. But yes, obviously, Mike, I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
We have prizes today. Do we have prizes?
We have prizes. They are the same prizes, but we have multiple UCF Kansas tickets for next week's game at the Bounce House. They play Kansas State on Saturday. A week from Saturday, they'll take on Kansas out at the Bounce House. The Trans-Siberian Orchestra tickets got gobbled up yesterday. A lot of good songs on the talkback. So rage for us.
Yeah.
Hit us up
in
the rage cage.
Enter the rage cage. If you want those UCF Kansas tickets, you have to rant and rave about something in the rage cage. So get ready for that. Let's get to the highlights and the headline. Thursday night football tonight. The Seahawks versus the Arizona Cardinals. Seattle, I believe, is favored by 1.5. Sam Darnold has played impressively. The Arizona defense has played well also, but James Conner won't be there for the Arizona Cardinals. He's out for the year. Kravitz, James Conner wasn't just the starting running back for the Cardinals. He was the heart and soul of that team. How do you think the Cardinals are going to fare moving forward without James Conner?
It definitely doesn't help. His toughness was something that this Cardinals team doesn't really have a lot of. You kind of go as your captain goes, and their captain is Kyler Murray. Doesn't exactly exude toughness, but James Conner was that. Trey Benson's been pretty good so far this year. Last year, he really struggled. His longest run a year ago, his rookie season, was 20 yards. He's already surpassed that this season. I think he was ready to start to slowly take over. So I think they're going to be fine. I mean, it hasn't really shifted anything. The Seahawks are now favored by 1.5. And if I'm looking at the old Kravitz power ratings over here, that's exactly where I have the game tonight. So we're on market with the Hard Rock Sportsbook app. Should be a fun one tonight. I'm just excited that tonight we get to watch my new favorite wide receiver in the NFL, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah,
that's my guy.
He's at his catch rate is unbelievable.
83%, Mike.
Yeah, I know it is. Compared to 28% for our boy up in Jacksonville.
That's right. Yeah, Brian Thomas Jr. has a lot of positive regression coming his way.
All right, quick fantasy question. We're going to have Jamie Eisenberg on later. I've got Kyler Murray, has been my starting quarterback all season. He's been horrible. He's been horrible as a fantasy quarterback. I've got Tua. He's horrible. And I just picked up Dak Prescott off the waiver wire.
Oh,
what do you think?
I feel like your decision should be made. Here's the problem, thinking about this. Dak should be the answer. He's the best fantasy quarterback now
He's playing the
on your
Packers
roster.
defense.
That's the problem. He's playing the
Right.
Packers defense. The Packers have been smothering opposing quarterbacks. I mean, even the Browns don't have a good offense in general, but even though the Browns won that game, they still only scored 13 points. I think I would still roll with Dak. He's at home.
Nah, I'm going with Kyler tonight because I want to be interested.
Well, that's fair. I'm good breaking the tie on Thursday Night Football. Let's just get them out there. Usually, it's if there's any sort of question mark, teams just typically play kind of ugly on Thursdays. It's the short week factor of it, and I think play callers dial things back a little bit. I try and avoid Thursday night when I have the chance, but if you've got a bad quarterback situation, I think I'm with you. Just roll with Kyler. Forget it.
Yeah. Cal Raleigh continues to hit the cover off the baseball. So last night, first he hit this major league leading home run.
Now the windup in the 1-1, swing and a drive, deep to right field. Holy smokes, where is this going to land? Upper deck right field. Number 59 for Cal Raleigh.
Okay, he hits number 59. Then he does this last night.
The chance of MVP. MVP, the stretch of the pitch to Cal. Swing and a drive, deep to right field. There it is, number 60. The modern-day Bambino has just tied Babe Ruth's record of 60 home runs.
Okay, first of all, Babe Ruth doesn't have the record of 60 home runs. He didn't tie his record.
He did eventually correct himself and say third most all time in the American League.
Okay. Yes.
He tied his mark. He tied Babe Ruth's mark, not necessarily a record.
Yeah. So, 60 home runs. Obviously, the American League record is held by Aaron Judge with 62. How many more games does Cal Raleigh have? Can he get that one?
I think he's got 4 left. But
So
they've already
possible.
clinched the division, so I don't know if they have seeding to fight for. I mean, I guess they kind of do. They're at 89 wins right now. The Yankees and the Blue Jays are at 90. They were playing the Rockies. I think they're still in a series with them. And then at the end of the season, the last couple of games are against the Dodgers. The Dodgers have already locked up their spot, so the Dodgers will probably rest their best players. So Seattle can kind of coast here. And I don't think they need the big dumper out there, but maybe they keep him out there for historical purposes. There's a chance he doesn't play the rest of the season.
He needs to do like Ted Williams did, get out there and play anyway.
Yes, exactly.
Of course, Ted Williams was trying to, or the manager was telling Ted Williams, you've already hit 400, right? You don't need to get out there. So, different. Kravitz, you've got Cal Raleigh breaking all these home run records. Aaron Judge just hit his 50th last night to tie Babe Ruth, Mark McGwire, and Sammy Sosa as the only guys to hit 50 home runs 4 times. Kyle Schwarber hit 2 more last night. He has 56. Shohei Ohtani, well, how many does he have? He has over 50. Kravitz, we have all these home runs. Why aren't we hearing the whispers like we did back in the bad old days? These guys have to be juicing, right? Why aren't we hearing that?
2 words, Mike. Launch angles. That's the reason why. These guys have been gearing their at-bats for the last couple of years towards exactly this. Also, at the start of the season, the big talk was about torpedo bats. That went away. I don't know if it just became the norm. I don't know if they're still doing the torpedo bat thing across Major League Baseball and creating more meat on the barrel where it makes sense and making that personalized for each player. It seems like this is the reason why we're not hearing those whispers, is because this is where baseball has been going the last couple of years, gearing things towards either hit a home run or strike out, because that's what the analytics say. I think that's why we've avoided the juice talk.
I wanted to get to this Deion Sanders story, but maybe we'll get to it in Mic'd Up later in the show. People are ripping Shedeur Sanders. But you know, remember the Ravens story? We'll get to it later.
Okay.
We'll get to it later.
We'll jot
Those
that down.
are your headlines and highlights.
Up next, will Billy's buyout save him from ruin? One prominent figure in college football media thinks so. We'll tell you who that is next.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Interest rates are going down. Inventory is going up. You know what that means? Now is the time to buy if you're looking for a home in Central Florida. And if you're dealing with the Nickley Group, like I have many friends who do, they are saving buyers an average of $24,000 on home purchases. They're negotiating interest rate buydowns, seller concessions, instant equity. Plus, you get perks like a free appraisal, free home warranty, even free moving trucks and supplies. I'm telling you, this is the time to buy. These are the local experts you want in your huddle. Download their free buyer's guide at thenicklygroup.com. That's thenicklygroup.com. If you want to buy or sell quickly, just call Nickley.
I'm a beer fanatic, so I don't settle for anything less than the best. And the folks at Hourglass Brewing deliver quality, consistency, everything I'm looking for in a good beer. With that neighborhood charm at their 2 Orlando locations, Hourglass Brewing is a first-class brewery from the same one that cranks out Zoneheads 35 once per year. But it's more than that. They crank out the hits on the daily. 25-plus Hourglass beers on tap every single day. Stop by for happy hour. $3 I4 iSource citrus lagers from 4 to 6 p.m. all day on Mondays. They even have wines, seltzers, ciders, something for everybody. Cozy up to the bar, get to know their friendly staff. Hourglass is a welcoming watering hole for the entire Orlando community, and they have a location right near downtown Orlando as well, on top of the one right around the corner from me in Longwood. This isn't mass-produced. This is craft. Fresh ingredients, local pride, and a taste that you can actually savor. So next time you need to unwind, skip the ordinary and raise a glass to the extraordinary. Raise a glass to Hourglass Brewing.
There's a crash getting cleared up on I-4 westbound at Parr Street. The right lane's partially blocked on State Road 408 westbound at Orange Blossom Trail. Move over for emergency crews on the roadways. Afternoon showers are heading through the area, so expect some rainy conditions on your ride this afternoon. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $125 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 11/1. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Streaming only on Hulu.
Beginning October 2nd.
Shelly, roll!
Hi, this is Ed Sheeran.
Cool. Brian Adams.
Make some noise for Tate McRae.
Hey, I'm Sammy Hagar.
We have room 5. Good evening.
Hey, this is John Fogerty.
And so much more.
See it all at our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One. Streaming only on Hulu. Beginning October 2nd.
If you've been in a big truck accident, you better have a lawyer who understands the traffic rules for big trucks.
And a lawyer who can navigate the hundreds of laws that can complicate your case.
At Farah and Farah, we're ready to go the long haul to fight for you. Orlando.
Join us daily on 96.9 The Game for your Embers Only Cigar of the Week. Brought to you by Corona Cigar Company. Luxury cigar lifestyle, fine spirits, and relaxation await at your nearest Corona Cigar. Dr. Phillips, downtown, Heathrow, or online at coronacigar.com.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan.
If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talon Comprehensive Financial Plan is complimentary. And when that plan's in hand, you will also receive the gift of a will and trust courtesy of Talon Wealth.
The folks at Talon Wealth are not attorneys, but they work with a group of attorneys who'll provide a will and trust at no charge to you. Reach out at 813-755-5000. 813-755-5000. One more time, that's 813-755-5000. And be sure and tell them that Clay and Buck sent you.
Advisory services offered through Talon Private Wealth LLC, a SEC registered investment advisor. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
Out here, days are getting a little cooler, and mornings are starting with a few more layers. It's the season for more time at the grill, more feed for your animals. Heaters burn late into the night, and the woods start calling your name. We appreciate hard-working hands, shared moments, and love for our land. That's why season after season, we're here for your life out here. Tractor Supply.
Non-GMO pet food is important. I'm Dr. Travis Vandenberg, and I've been a veterinarian for 25 years.
Genetically modifying things so we can use pesticides, herbicides on food items concerns me a lot because those are poisons. We're seeing cancer all the time, and it's more and more and more. To not put toxins into our bodies and our pets' bodies, the better off we're going to be. I recommend Gentle Giant's natural, non-GMO dog and puppy food and cat and kitty food.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
The new season of the NFL lives on iHeartRadio.
McDonald, that's a Jet touchdown!
Local stations bring you the action live.
Touchdown, Tampa Bay!
Plus, fantasy advice and expert analysis with the official NFL Podcast Network.
A strip sack, a walk recovery.
Everything you love about football is on the iHeartRadio app.
Throws to the end zone. Caught, beat it, touchdown! Chargers!
Search NFL to dive in.
Picture this. Labor Day weekend. It's blazing hot and my AC decides to call it quits. It just stops cooling. I'm sweating. I've got guests coming over and I'm thinking, this is a nightmare. I called Ziegler Air Conditioning and get this. They had a tech at my door in an hour. Saved my weekend. That's why when it comes to AC, I only trust Ziegler. Pat Ziegler, Jason, and their team just celebrated their 40th anniversary of keeping Central Florida cool with honest, reliable service. They installed my system, they maintain it, and they make sure everything is running efficiently. You won't get any high-pressure upsells from these guys. Unlike other companies that send salespeople along just to sell you a new unit, Ziegler's techs are there to fix your problem, not pad their commission. They're also a carrier and factory authorized dealer, which means exclusive rebates and better deals for you. So don't gamble with your comfort. Call Ziegler Air Conditioning at 407-245-8765, 407-245-8765. Ziegler Air Conditioning. Don't ever lose your cool.
The new home for the Miami Dolphins is 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the iHeartRadio app. Just search 96.9 The Game. Welcome back to the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida, Game On, with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
We're back. Show rolls along. Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. AM 930 in Jacksonville. FM 96.5 The Spear in Tallahassee. And right here in Orlando, Florida. Home base on FM 96.9 The Game. Streaming everywhere on the iHeartRadio app and beyond. You can find us on Twitter at 96.9 Game On. And on YouTube, just search 96.9 The Game. No spaces. We are live on video. I've heard from some people, Mike, that they actually have us up on their smart TV in the middle of the day, just watching the show like it's a TV
high
show.
def?
Yeah, the def is high. That is for sure, from what I hear.
By the way, I think my studio at home looks maybe even better than your studio in the studio.
Yeah, I mean, I think your framing might look better. But the TV behind me is pretty cool with the 96.9 logo.
Yeah, you've got the 96.9 The Game, but you don't have the J.J. Redick frame jersey, the Magic jersey in back of you. You don't have the Bianchi frame jerseys in the back of you like I do.
This is true. Very, very, very well
You
played.
want that J.J. Redick jersey, don't you?
I love JJ. Absolutely. It's time now for our daily coach quote of the day. Our daily source of inspiration and motivation in today's lesson is this. College goes quickly, careers go quickly, life, no matter how long, passes with astonishing speed. The question we must ask ourselves is, as we look into the hourglass, what will we do with our sand? Mike, how we spend our days, there is nothing more important in life. If you had to whittle all of this down, all of this craziness every day, punching in the clock, eating lunch, sitting in traffic, whatever it is, how we use the sand in the hourglass is the most important thing that we can do.
That's a great quote. There's another great quote. I'm trying to remember it. When it's something like, when you go to when you die and you're on your tombstone, it has when you were born and when you died, and then there's the dash in the middle. The dash is the most important thing.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I mean, essentially the same thing, same message delivered in a different way. What will we do with our sand? What will you do with your dash? A really good way to think about the day. We spent a lot of our time, a lot of our sand has been used discussing the burning hot seat that Billy Napier is sitting on at Florida. Well, not everyone thinks that he's about to lose his job. In fact, Urban Meyer, former Florida Gator head coach, doesn't think that Billy is going anywhere.
Billy Napier is caught in a firestorm. How's it end? Again, I don't see him making the change right now with $21 million. And that's going on pretty well documented conversation with people throughout the country that there's, once again, where does it go? Where are you getting that money from? Because the money's already distributed.
You know what?
Yeah, go ahead.
Remember you asked me what column I was working on for Sunday?
And we were keeping it a secret.
Yeah, and I said it's probably going to be on, Scott Strickland. Why did he sign Billy Napier to this 7-year contract when he hired him 4 years ago when he was coming out of Louisiana? I'm thinking about writing Scott Strickland should have to keep Billy Napier to punish himself for signing him to a 7-year deal. Think about it, Kravitz. If Scott Strickland had just signed Billy Napier to a 5-year deal, which is customary among college coaches, a 5-year deal, all right, they'd owe about $7 million instead of $21 million, okay? So I agree with Urban Meyer. I think it's financially irresponsible for a college football program to pay somebody 20. If you have to pay over $10 million to fire your coach, you should have to keep him. That's my opinion. It's financially irresponsible.
I mean, it's definitely financially irresponsible. I don't think anybody would argue against that. He's obviously, last year he coached himself out of this situation, so that he does still have a chance while he has the job to do that. It feels less likely this year than it even felt last year. I just don't know how they turn their backs on poor performance after poor performance. I know it's a lot of money, but it's going to cost you money in order to keep him. And I think it really just becomes a math equation. And I've actually formulated the equation. It's very simple. Okay. It's the X, which is money lost from keeping Billy Napier, minus Y, which is $21.7 million, the buyout, equals Z. And that number, if that number is in the negatives, then you have to fire him. If you are losing more from keeping him than you would lose by firing him and then hiring someone else, then you have to let him go. So I don't know the figures, the season tickets that are lost, the donations from boosters that drop off because you keep him around. It just simply, if I'm Scott Strickland, I'm sitting there, I got my calculator out and my notepad, and I'm drawing up the equation. And if the equation spits out that we are costing ourselves money by keeping him, even though it sounds ridiculous because you have to give them 21.7 out the door, I just don't know how you continue to do it.
Well, here's the other thing. It's not, Florida and all these SEC schools and all these big-time programs. Yes, they have a lot of money. They account for it, but they don't just have $21 million liquid laying there. All right. Can they go get it from some boosters? Maybe. But to me, I mean, you want to talk about the biggest dupes in the world are these boosters who are funding these athletic programs. I mean, you can't think of anything better to do with your money than give tens of millions of dollars to some spendthrift athletic director who's just going to blow it by hiring bad coaches. I would never give my money to these athletic departments. But if you can go get that 21, if you can go get that $21 million from Hugh Hathcock and some of these other boosters, Gary Condren, fine, go get it and do it. But if you can't, where are you getting that money? Where are you getting that money?
Well, and that was a conversation last year. It was, I think it was Ryan McGee, the college football reporter
for ESPN.
He was at a function last offseason where he talked to boosters that said they were ready to buy out Billy just so they could go get Lane Kiffin. So they're out, and apparently that was brought to the administration. And Scott Strickland and company said, no, we're going to stick with our guy. And so the money's out. The money's out there. I mean, as far as I know, the buyout hasn't changed from this past offseason. When was that contract? When was his last extension solidified?
No, Billy Napier has not gotten an extension, nor should he have. But originally he signed a 7-year contract.
So he never re-upped the deal or anything?
No. That's why I keep raving about this. Why did you sign him to a 7-year contract to begin with? No, he'll still have 3 years remaining on his contract after this season at about $7.5 million per year.
So I do wonder this, Mike. Do you think that we are? Here I go, second day in a row, wondering if dumb college spending is going to change. It's probably not a tree worth barking up. But in the past, you would sign coaches in college football to longer-term deals for the image of recruiting, like our guy isn't going anywhere. Well, that doesn't matter anymore because rosters change over every year. So could that actually spawn some change for the length of these contracts? Because athletic directors are going to say, I don't need to sell to recruits that you're going to be here for 7 years because they're only going to be here for 1. So why does it matter?
First of all, why would you need to sell to recruits you're going to be here for 7 years anyways? Okay, because even in the old system, recruits were there for 4 years, 5 at the most. So that's why you sign a coach to a 5-year contract, not a 7-year contract. Again, it's just asinine that Scott Strickland signed Billy Napier to a 7-year contract. But could what you're saying be true? Yeah, if these ADs weren't like little cowering babies whenever Jimmy Sexton, the coach super agent, walks into the room and says, give us a 7-year contract or we'll go elsewhere. And these ADs go, okay, Jimmy, where do I sign, Jimmy? It's like Jimmy Sexton has these guys cowering like little babies.
Up next, midweek mic'd up. Dan Campbell's out here biting kneecaps, and Todd Bowles. All of a sudden, this guy's a comedian. We'll get to that next.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
Central Florida, do you know how lucky you are? We are so spoiled to have International Diamond Center right here in Orlando. This is Florida's premier diamond destination. They are a direct importer. That means no middleman, just incredible prices on sparkling natural diamonds of every shape and size, handpicked from the world's elite diamond cutters. And IDC doesn't stop there. You'll find the biggest selection of bridal rings anywhere in the state. All the iconic designer names, plus thousands of exclusive, handcrafted, American-made settings. IDC even offers custom designs, so your ring is one of a kind. And for watch lovers, IDC is your source for pre-owned luxury Rolexes, meticulously curated models like the Submariner, the Sky Dweller, the Batman, all in pristine condition, and some have never even been worn. IDC is family-owned and Florida-grown. Never a corporate chain. This is the jeweler Orlando Trust. Get details now at shopidc.com.
Honest, trustworthy, out for your best interest. Not things often said about roofing companies, but do yourself a favor and spend a moment researching Eustace Roofing. You'll find that those thoughts and those reviews are said all over the place. That's how they've been able to serve the Central Florida community the way that they have over the past 60 years. And this Halloween, get ready for the Scary Good Deals, a spooktacular savings event with Eustace Roofing, $1,500 off of your roof replacement. Go ahead and find them online. Give them a call. Tell them that Brandon Kravitz sent you by. Eustace Roofing isn't just local. They're all over Orlando and Central Florida. It's a small-town service serving all of Orlando. Visit them online, eustaceroofing.com.
Trust, price, and ease of transaction. That is GiveMeTheVin.com. We love to buy cars, and you're going to love GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
I'm Mark Anajar.
I'm Glenn Levine.
I'm Ellie Anajar.
And we're Anajar and Levine. Experience the Anajar and Levine difference by calling us with any of your legal needs. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando.
The one and only Monster Jam. The world's best drivers tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks like Grave Digger and Mole. Coming to Camping World Stadium January 10th. Brought to you by Big 80 Tires. You have to see it live, so don't miss it. Lock in your seats today at monsterjam.com.
Out here, pets are family, and where you go, they go. So bring them to Tractor Supply, where our price match guarantee means you'll save on toys, treats, pet meds, and more all summer long. Tractor Supply, for pets out here.
What if, instead of choosing between a big bank or a small bank, you could choose one bank that's the best of both? That's First Horizon, with big bank reliability and small bank resolve. You get 160 years of financial strength and stability and an enduring commitment to personal service. When the best of big meets the best of small, you get it all to help you on the road to your horizon. First Horizon Bank. Visit firsthorizon.com/getitall.
When you've been in a crash and your mind's racing.
When you've fallen in a store and are blaming yourself.
When you've been hurt at work and don't know what to do. You know who to call. Farah and Farah, Orlando.
Chelsea here, ready to upgrade your windows or patio doors? Right now during the Renewal by Anderson's Big BOGO event, buy one, get one 40% off, plus zero money down, zero payments, and 0% interest for 18 months. At Renewal by Anderson, our acclaimed impact replacement windows are built for Florida homes and designed to help you save money on your energy bills by maintaining indoor temperatures year-round. Offer expires September 30th. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free design consultation. License number CGC 1527613.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call Trajan Wealth today at 407-213-0000. 407-213-0000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Miss us while we're gone? Download the Game On podcast on iHeartRadio and take us with you wherever and whenever you want. It's all of Bianchi and I's wildest takes on demand on the daily. And while you're at it, make us your number one preset as well. Just search Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz, the state of Florida's premier sports talk radio show. Now back to these ads.
Is your AC working overtime? Your roof might be the reason. Upgrade now. Get 15% off and lower your energy bills. Real craftsmen, real experts, real roofers. Visit EustaceRoofing.com for a free estimate. That's EustaceRoofing.com.
Huge savings on Dell AI PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors are here, and they're newly designed to help you do more faster. They can generate code, edit images, multitask without lag, draft emails, summarize documents, create live translations, and even extend your battery life. That's the power of Dell AI with Intel inside. Upgrade today by visiting Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's 4 a.m., Monday, and you're literally sucking baby snot through a tube because she's congested. Man, that's love. And if you love her that much, love her enough to make sure she's buckled in the right car seat. To make sure your child's in the right seat for their age and size, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Happy Thursday, Brevard County. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast. And for today, we are going to be expecting hot temperatures. Plan for highs to reach the upper 80s and low 90s. It's going to be one of the hotter days of the week. And we'll also be seeing some scattered showers and storms, more of the same, about a 50 to 60% chance of rain at most. But the good news is, as we head into next week, we start to see slightly lower chances of rain as drier air begins to filter in. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Felt like you missed something this morning?
It's becoming a disgusting habit at this point.
You did. You can listen while you get ready in the morning.
Wake up with us.
Just tell Alexa to play 96.9 The Game. Coaches, players, GMs, everyone's got an opinion these days. Let's hear from the biggest names in the game. It's time for Mic'd Up.
It's a midweek Mic'd Up presented by my go-to pizza spot, Pizza Bruno, South Jersey style pies at a location near you. Go and find them online and work up an appetite at pizzabruno.fl.com. I could go for some pizza right now. We will start with, rather than a pizza, we'll start with a Frosty. Yesterday on the Coaches Show, last night right here on FM 96.9 The Game, Scott Frost was talking about this week's opponent, Kansas State.
Well, being honest, they played their hearts out in Ireland and came close against a good team, and it just kind of looks like that deflated them a little bit to lose it. It's kind of probably unfortunate for us. We're getting them after a bye week, gives them a chance to kind of circle back and regather the troops and fix anything and charge forward. We've been talking to our players about that. We're going to get the best version of them, so we got to be the best version of ourselves.
This has not been a good Kansas State team so far this year, and they were predicted to be one of the best teams in the Big 12. Avery Johnson was set to have a breakout season. None of that is happening. They lost to Iowa State in a close game to open the season. That was the overseas game that Scott was talking about. They beat North Dakota, and then they have back-to-back losses. Army, an Army team, by the way, that this isn't last year's Army team. This year's Army team lost to Tarleton State. I don't even know where that is. And then Arizona. So they had a bye week, but I don't think they're very good, Mike.
Yeah, UCF is surprisingly good this year, and Kansas State is surprisingly bad. You mentioned they beat North Dakota State only on the last second drive. I mean, that was down to the wire. North Dakota State was beat. They've almost lost to North Dakota State and Army this year. Quite frankly, they would be 0-4 if they hadn't rallied to beat North Dakota State. So, yeah, they're bad this year. Bad.
And the Knights 5.5-point underdogs. I will say this. I will give, even though Kansas State looks like they're a bad football team this year, I'm going to give UCF their proper respect if they win this game. Last week, UNC, cool win. I think UNC might be the worst team in Division I football. So, but you go on the road in the conference, you got to give respect where respect is due. Jags offensive lineman Josh Hines-Allen says that Travis Hunter has everything needed to be a huge stud.
Man, he's a hell of a player. He's going to be a hell of a player for us. Watch back, look at the game again and just see everybody, not just myself, and just to see how physical he played on the defensive side of the ball. Him coming up and run support. Obviously, we don't want them to make the tackles in the run, but, when we're playing in a light box and they try to get to our corners, can our corners tackle? And to see him come up there and put his face in the fire, that just gave me a little bit more, oh, yeah, we got one of those dudes. So I think Travis has all the capabilities to be the next great thing for us.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. They need to focus his attention primarily on defense. It is the better unit right now for this Jacksonville Jaguars team. Trevor Lawrence needs to get better. That's obvious. And so far this season, it's been up and down, but they are 2-1, but they're 2-1 because of their defense. Their defense has been lights out, and they need to continue to feed the beast. I think Travis Hunter is a really good defensive back. That's where he should be spending his time. They got enough guys on offense. Travis Hunter isn't going to save the day there anyway.
I think people just need to relax about Travis Hunter. Yeah, everybody says, you're saying they need to focus on one side of the ball. He's played 3 games. Maybe they need to get him acclimated on both sides of the ball. If they think he's good enough to play on both sides of the ball, which I happen to think he is, then get him acclimated. It's not like did anybody think he was just going to come in immediately and become a star on both sides of the ball?
I think a lot of people thought that. Yep.
Well, a lot of people are stupid. Bronco Nagurski was the last guy in 1960 to play both ways in the National Football League. There's a reason it's a rarity because it takes a special type of player. And Travis Hunter, I think, is that special type of player, but you don't just come in immediately and be a star on both sides of the ball.
I'm going to get our stats guys on this. I want to know Bronco Nagurski's stat line on both sides, first 3 games of his career. Todd Bowles made us laugh one time already this week, talking about how one of his players and him are in a secret relationship. But here's his response to being apparently he's considered a hero in Philadelphia for being pro tush push.
Your stance on the tush push has kind of made you a hero in Philly. You played there. You coached there.
I think I'm a hero.
Understand that mentality where opposing fans actually like you for that thing.
I think the only place I might be a hero at is Ishkabibbles down on South Street and getting the cheesesteak. Other than that, it's a good play. It's a creative play for them, and we got to get better as defensive coaches trying to be creative to stop it.
All of a sudden, Todd Bowles has become a stand-up comedian.
Have you ever been to Ishkabibbles down there on South Street?
I never have. I've only been to Philadelphia one time, and I happened to be stuffed when I rolled into the city. I was so disappointed because if I had eaten a cheesesteak, I would have been down for the count for a while.
If you go to Philly, you need to go to Ishkabibbles. I've never heard of Ishkabibbles in my life. I'm just repeating.
You sounded so confident about it. I wanted to hear more about Ishkabibbles. If anybody out there is from Philadelphia, can you confirm, do people from Philadelphia put that nasty boxed nacho cheese sauce onto their cheesesteaks, or is that just a touristy thing? I don't actually know the answer to that because the provolone cheese is great, but apparently up there they do it differently. They have like cheese whiz.
Please don't tell me like the cheesesteaks are better in Philly than you can make a good cheesesteak anywhere. Orlando has good cheesesteaks. All right.
Mike's like, just go to Firehouse Subs.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It is just bread, meat, and cheese.
Buffalo doesn't make better wings than the Wing House. Okay. Right here.
Amen.
In good old Orlando.
I can attest to that. All right, let's skip over to Mr. Motivation himself, Dan Campbell. What you got?
And our hardest workers are our best players. It's not lip service. It's not fake. It's not our best players are our hardest worker. Go out and watch them practice. And it's like that every day. And so that's the standard. That's the standard. So if you're not up to that standard with the effort matching what our best players do, then you're not going to be around here very long. So that makes the rest of your guys, everybody just falls in line. Anybody that comes in or we acquire, the young guys, all of it, man. And that's the way we play. That's what we do.
I don't even have anything to add to that. I just wanted to get Dan Campbell onto the show. I love listening to him talk.
Yeah. If the players in Florida, in Miami, if their best players were their hardest workers, just think how much better they would be if Tyreek Hill was their hardest worker.
Exactly.
Right.
And I mean, you go, the Patriots dynasty, Tom Brady was the hardest worker. The Spurs dynasty, Tim Duncan was the hardest worker. You can do this with Michael Jordan with the Bulls. Every single great team that has ever existed goes as their best player goes. And that's why the Lions are still succeeding with all that they lost. Deion Sanders, he spoke to the media about this story that came out that Shedeur Sanders told the Ravens, hey, don't draft me because I want an opportunity to play.
Philly called us on draft day. They didn't mention that. I just let a cat out of the bag. Who was it? Baltimore and the Browns. They forget. I know I played for Baltimore, so me and Ozzie are cool. So we understood that whole conversation, and he wanted to talk to Shedeur as well as you want to talk to me. I put Shedeur on the phone, and Shedeur, I don't want to say how it went, but how in the world can somebody fault him for saying or thinking, why in the world would I go back up Lamar for 10 more years? I've never sat on the bench and said, well, I learned a lot today.
What do you think about that one, Mike?
I totally agree with people are giving Shedeur Sanders all of this grief because he didn't want to go to Baltimore. Who would want to go to Baltimore? And as Deion said, sit on the bench for 10 years. Ask Kyle Trask what that does for your career, okay? You go sit on the bench for 4 or 5 years, guess what? You don't have a career, all right? So, yeah.
It's hindsight thought because people are looking at that and saying, oh, well, would you rather just be in Cleveland backing up Joe Flacco? No, Shedeur Sanders thought that he was going to compete for the starting job. That was the reason why he was looking forward to going there. And he wasn't
still
competing. Very right. Still a lot of time left. Up that right there, mic'd up midweek. Up next, your time to shine, your texts, your talkbacks. You can enter the Rage Cage for your shot at UCF Kansas tickets. Make it good. Hit us up on the iHeartRadio Talkback. We'll be right back.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
With Hammer and Nails, I'm not just an endorser. I'm a client. I love that place. The staff is awesome. The service makes me feel like a different person when I go in. The relaxation, the cleanliness. It takes a lot of effort to look this good. Today's extraordinary man deserves a grooming experience unlike any other in a space that's far from a take-a-number haircut farm, pedicure stations that reek of acrylic fumes. It's time to take care of yourself in the best way possible, and it starts at a place where men's care is what it's all about. That and a good drink. Where rugged meets refined. Hammer and Nails is all about the grooming experience, but with a masculine touch. And what do I always say? Look good, feel good, play good at Hammer and Nails.
Okay, fellas, let's be real. If your wife or girlfriend isn't herself lately, if she's tired, cranky, no interest in sex, it's not her fault. And if you're walking around foggy, low energy, low sex drive, it's not just you getting older. It's your hormones. Both of you. That's why I want you to call Florida Center for Hormones and Wellness. This is where couples go when they want to feel alive again. This isn't one of those cookie cutter clinics you see at the strip malls where they give you a testosterone shot in the butt and send you on your way. The difference is Dr. John Carrazella. He's an internationally acclaimed Yale-trained doctor who gave up a successful career as an orthopedic surgeon to focus on hormone health. He's helped thousands of couples get their mojo back to feel sharp, sexy, and actually excited to be around each other again. And fellas, trust me, when she starts feeling better, everything changes for both of you. So stop toughing it out and start living again and do it together. Go to hormonesandwellness.com. That's hormonesandwellness.com for all the information. It's a gift that will truly last a lifetime.
There's a crash blocking the ramp from the express lanes of I-4 eastbound to the regular lanes of I-4 eastbound. Look out for an earlier accident on I-4 westbound at R Street there. Afternoon showers might be slowing down your ride just a little bit more than usual. Expect reduced visibility and slippery roadways in some areas. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the traffic center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
Viant, innovative digital advertising. Didn't think you could advertise on the largest sports platforms? Think again. Viant helps brands show up where it counts on live sports, where audiences are the most engaged. It's simple, smart, and built for results you can actually measure. No wasted time, no wasted spend. Want better results? Visit ViantCTV.com today. That's That's ViantCTV.com to learn how easy data-driven advertising can be. Viant. Visit ViantCTV.com and get your message in front of the right audience today.
You worked hard for your 401k, but if you've left your job, your money might be sitting in the wrong hands. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and it's very possible that the 401k that you have had for years has hidden fees and limited investment choices. But if you're no longer with the company, that 401k may be at the mercy of your former employer. All of these things could be costing you thousands. Rolling over your 401k into an IRA can provide better investment options that align with your long-term goals. At Trajan Wealth, we're fiduciary advisors that are held to a higher standard with no hidden agenda and no hidden fees. Don't let your retirement dollars sit in an old plan, and don't roll it over to your new plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. Call Trajan Wealth today at 407-213-0000, 407-213-0000. Advisory services are offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Just because an injury doesn't show up on an x-ray doesn't mean it isn't real. We know doctors that specialize in whiplash, sprains, strains, and tears. They can help us prove your pain is real and fight for your future medical needs. Farrah and Farrah.
Orlando. Victoria Hills is your golf course of choice. Enjoy a golfing experience like no other. Challenge yourself on a Ron Garl design that is unique to Florida's landscape. Elevation changes and rolling terrain will remind you of being in the Carolinas. And now you can get 2 rounds of golf for just $35 at CentralFloridaSaves.com. That's right. You and a guest can play a round of golf at Victoria Hills in Deland for just $35. Head on over to CentralFloridaSaves.com to get this deal.
Rapid radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Follow the game on Facebook at 96.9 The Game. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
The free iHeartRadio app makes your car radio jealous.
Live radio presets, lyrics for songs, and the most podcasts on the planet.
Plus, it all fits in your pocket.
Your car radio can't do that.
Make sure the free iHeartRadio app is on your smartphone now.
The #1 app for radio.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
When it comes to buying or selling a home, you need more than just a sign in the yard. You need a pro who knows the market, knows the process, and knows how to fight for you. That's why I lean on Kevin Krager. Kevin doesn't just unlock doors. He brings a deep knowledge of market trends, the latest home buyer programs, and cutting-edge real estate technology. But what truly sets him apart is Kevin's background in construction. He knows what to look for so that you don't end up in a money pit. From foundations to roof lines, he's focused on protecting your investment every step of the way. And it doesn't stop when you sign on the dotted line. Even after closing, Kevin has the resources to help with repairs or upgrades that you may want, all at cost to his clients. I've seen firsthand how Kevin Krager works, how responsive and honest he is. The bottom line is he gets results. Whether you're upgrading, downsizing, or making that first big move, he's going to guide you every step of the way. Call Kevin Krager today. Your future home will thank you.
#1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WYGM Orlando, WJRR, HD2, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Free never sounded so good. Welcome back to the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On. with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Let's talk about free beer for a moment this Thursday. Oh, hey, that's today. Come to the Wing House and order any half-pound burger at regular price. Get a free 16-ounce domestic beer or soda. Wash that puppy down. It's the perfect way to fuel up before a big football weekend. Got a game on tonight as well. Juicy burgers, cold drinks, beautiful girls, all found at the Wing House, a vibe that you will love. 3 Central Florida locations, Wing House. Good food, beautifully served. This is how the age gap on this show works with the three of us. So you have Bianchi's the old guard. I'm in the middle. And then Jaden Grimes, the prodigy, is, I think he just graduated high school.
Hey, I'm 20. It's been a couple years.
Okay. It wasn't that far off. But what I'm about to bring up, Mike will have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm aware that this is a thing, and Jaden might actually have an answer as to why it's happening. There's a trend out there with hats where the wording on the hats, like if you were to have a hat that said Knights on it, Knights is upside down. And they have all sorts of teams have apparel like this where the hat has the name of the team and the name is upside down. I've seen these out there. I've never asked. That's what I want to know, because I know you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, Mike. Am I correct about that?
No, I have no idea.
This is a popular thing. I see these everywhere. Jaden, why is this a thing?
I have no clue. I didn't know it was a thing till you're just now talking about it.
Okay, never mind.
I have no clue. I mean, you see my hats I wear every day. They're normal looking hats. Same normal logo, everything's upright, not upside down. I don't like the whole upside down
Probably
looking
the
thing.
same reason. Like, is it still a thing? It used to be a thing. All right, that people would wear their sneakers untied.
Yeah, it's probably the same. It's just one of those those things that people think makes them look cool, and then in 3 years you'll never see this again. But it's everywhere right now.
But why do people think that doing something stupid makes you look cool?
Because it's different.
Like
I
your
guess.
shoes are untied, they come off easier. Okay, your hat has backwards words on it. It's harder to read.
And pick up your pants. I can see you in debates.
Yes. Yo, your pants down low. No.
One other quick note before we get to, we have Whit Watson that's joining us from Making the Cut at the top of the 4 o'clock hour to talk about the Ryder Cup. One other quick note. I wanted to say congratulations to Sean Alexander. He and his wife are welcoming another child into the world. Number 14.
Wow.
14. That's too many children. I'm just gonna say it. That is too many. Your litter has grown.
I don't care about the number of children he has. All I know is remember what a fantasy stud he used to be.
Oh,
back
Mike,
in the day?
he's the first inductee into the Brandon Kravitz Fantasy Hall of Fame. I love Sean Alexander. I wish I was one of his 14 kids.
Marshall Faulk. God.
Falk was, I think Falk might have been on the back end when I started. I think he was still playing when I started playing fantasy, but he was.
I remember one year I picked up Marshall Faulk's backup, I think it was, and
Trung candidate.
Trung candidate. Yeah. And I thought, man, I've got Trung candidate and Marshall Faulk is hurt. I'm gonna load up in Trung candidate. Yeah, he was a bad candidate.
Yep. I remember that happening with Priest Holmes had a backup by the name of Larry Johnson, who when he filled in for Priest Holmes was a star, and then he took over the starting role, and everyone was taking him in the top 2, and he did nothing after that. Coming up next, Whit Watson's going to join us to talk about this exciting Ryder Cup that is right around the corner. But right now, we'll step aside for the folks at Fox Sports Radio. 60 seconds. We return.
Live, local, in your face, and bald. Very bald. Let's send you to the studio for the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Welcome back to Game On. We are live, loud, and local in Orlando, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and all points in between on the iHeartRadio app. Guess what is starting tomorrow up in New York, the Ryder Cup. Let's welcome in our golf insider, Whit Watson, who hosts Making the Cut every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on FM 96.9 The Game in Orlando, AM 930 Fox Sports Radio up in Jacksonville. He'll also be the national host of Ryder Cup Tonight, each evening starting tonight through Sunday on Westwood One Sports. That is the premier national radio broadcasting arm of we carry Westwood One on our radio. Whit, congratulations on that gig, by the way. That's pretty big time.
Yeah, they've been really good to me, Mike. I've been able to do something similar for the PGA Championship and do hourly updates for the U.S. Open. Unfortunately, it doesn't mean that I'm on location for these events, but that's okay because I have to babysit Sean Alexander's kids this weekend anyway, so I kind of had another gig. I was busy.
All right, Whit, sort of set the scene what it's going to be like up there at Bethpage Black. It's a public course. I actually covered a U.S. Open up there years ago, and it was rowdy for a U.S. Open. I can only imagine what it's going to be like tomorrow when the Ryder Cup starts. President Trump's going to be there, so it is going to be a circus, is it not?
Absolute bedlam for the next 3 days. Tiger Woods won a U.S. Open there in 2002. Lucas Glover won a U.S. Open there in 2009. Brooks Koepka won a PGA championship there 6 years ago. And the New York fans, as you know, Mike, they're knowledgeable, they're loud, and they will show up. And the estimate from the PGA of America is that they're going to sell 250,000 tickets over the course of these 3 days. So you can do the math as to how many bodies are going to be on the golf course. I think, and I told Mark Daniels this earlier in the week, I really believe that the Ryder Cup and the Masters and maybe the Open Championship are the only events in golf where the crowd matters, where the crowd can actually make a difference in terms of performance. And there's no better place, or worse, if you're the opposing team, if you're the visiting team, to stage a Ryder Cup than Bethpage Black. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Justin Thomas says, his quote was, this is let me see if I can find it. This is the biggest event in golf history. Is that what he said?
I wouldn't doubt that he said it. I think there's some immediacy. There's a recency bias there. Perhaps.
The biggest golf event ever, he called it. The biggest golf event ever.
There's a lot of hype around this Ryder Cup, Mike, for a lot of reasons, but I think that Justin is in the moment. He's kind of the emotional heartbeat of the U.S. team, and the buildup to this one has been unusual, right, because of Keegan Bradley and the fact that he's the captain. He had a chance to play on his own team. He didn't take himself. You've got the guys from Liv. Bryson DeChambeau could be the absolute spiritual leader this week for the U.S. team, and he might be a dud. And nobody would be surprised either way. You've got John Rahm. I'm very curious to see how Rahm does for the European side. Again, coming off of Liv to be a captain's pick on this Ryder Cup. So, yeah, I'm not sure I buy JT's assertion that it's the biggest golf event ever, but it's the biggest one this year. I think it rivals Rory McIlroy winning a green jacket.
Whit, thanks for hopping on with us. I appreciate it. You sort of implied this a moment ago that home teams have a big advantage in the Ryder Cup. That's been especially true. The last 5 cups, the home team has won comfortably each time. So how big is that advantage for the Americans?
It's a good advantage. And I would also say that the golf course is going to make a difference. I mean, I think that you'd be talking about this as perhaps a more evenly matched Ryder Cup if they were playing at Medina or at Hazeltine. But because it is Bethpage Black and because the crowd is going to be so into it, you're going to see a really rowdy atmosphere. Now, the European players know that coming in, and most of their guys are veterans. There's only one rookie on the European team. So they've all been there and done that. I think this is the 8th for McElroy. I think it's the 7th for Justin Rose. So they're not going to be cowed by that. But yeah, history has shown us that home teams do really well. And I think that Bethpage Black is going to have a lot to do with that this week.
What is this that I saw about American fans being better than European golf fans? Where did that come from? Why was this even brought up?
That was Ian
I think it was an Ian Poulter. So I listened to the soundbite and they asked him about that. I think someone else had made the assertion that the American fans were, quote, better than the European fans. And Poulter just teed off on the whole mashed potatoes and get in the hole. And he used words like stupid and idiots. And like he really teed off on the American fans. Convenient for a guy that's no longer playing in Ryder Cups, by the way, but a guy that had a great success in that environment and embraced the role of being the villain. I don't know that the fans are better or worse, but they're different. American audiences are different from European audiences when it comes to Ryder Cup. And to avoid getting myself into a Poulter-esque situation, I'll just stop there. But it's Ian Poulter. Just leave it at that.
By the way, Whit, you mentioned Tiger won the U.S. Open in 2002. That was the one I covered at Bethpage Black, and that was the one where Sergio Garcia was just heckled unmercifully by the fans up there. He ended up flipping him off. It was a big controversy. What does all etiquette go out the window with the Ryder Cup? Is that pretty much is it the Waste Management Open up there?
No, I've heard a couple of players say that in years past, when the fans got really boisterous and really loud on the first tee and then went quiet, that it was actually harder to pull the trigger on that opening tee shot than if there was a little bit of an undercurrent of noise. And if you can remember Bubba Watson firing up the crowd on the first tee, asking for noise, and I think it was Boo Weekley at a President's Cup that rode his driver off the first tee like a horse. There's been kind of a move towards it's okay to be a little bit rowdy during play. And all the players know this is a different environment. This is not Augusta National. It's not a free-for-all. It's not no holds barred. But I think there has been a little bit of a loosening over the years where the fans can have a little bit of involvement as long as you're not overtly disrupting play. And I'm with you. I remember that event, Mike, and what they were doing to Sergio was shameful. It was kind of like the way Colin Montgomery used to get treated at U.S. Opens. It was just shameful. I don't think there's a place for that in golf. But this is a looser crowd. Yeah, it's a different environment from a standard PGA Tour week.
Also, President Trump is going to be there tomorrow, and I don't want to make this a political discussion or anything, but he is a divisive figure. You have Europe against the American team. Does this have more meaning because of what's been going on internationally as far as the tariffs and all of this other stuff?
I couldn't speak to that. I'm not avoiding the question. I really don't know the answer. My question as a broadcaster and a golf guy is, what does that do for logistics? What does that do in terms of security? What does that do in terms of getting people on and off the golf course and just moving people around the golf course? It's no small feat, no matter what party he is. It's no small feat for a president to show up at your sporting event. I mean, that just changes the entire game. You're adding hundreds, if not thousands of people that have to be there around the perimeter and on the property just to make the logistics work. And him going on the opening day, I'm as curious as anybody to see how that affects play, and how it affects the fan experience tomorrow.
Well, I want to go back to one of the original big storylines for this year's Ryder Cup. Keegan Bradley could have been the first player captain since Arnie, but he chose not to and just focus on the captain's portion of the job. What is it about that job that's so demanding that he felt like he should bow out of competition?
That's a great question, Brandon. I was torn because the captain's job is to field the best team possible. That's his job. His job is to win the cup. Keegan Bradley took players on the roster that were ranked behind him in the official World Golf Rankings and behind him in the Ryder Cup standings. So is he technically doing his job? Is he fielding the 12 best? But apparently, to hear him tell it and to hear the vice captains tell it, there's so much other stuff that goes on around play, whether it's these events you have to attend and photo shoots and dinners and all the logistics of traveling the team and the pairings and whatnot, that he felt like in order to do his job, he needed to leave his golf clubs at home. I don't think it would have mattered. I think with the staff that he has, I mean, he's got Jim Furyk, he's got Webb Simpson, he's got all these guys that have been around the block when it comes to international competitions. I think he could have handled it, but in his mind, he felt like the way that I'm doing my job and assembling the best team is to not be on it. And we'll see. I think a lot of his legacy in this Ryder Cup is going to be decided by how did the guys that he picked that were behind him perform. If one of those guys lets the team down, it's not going to look good. But he felt like this was the best way to go.
With 30 seconds, forget about home course advantage and all that. Who has the best set of players?
I think on paper, Mike, that Europe is pretty stout. If you just look up and down their roster in terms of experience and in terms of Rory McIlroy, McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler, the two guys at the absolute top of their games. For McIlroy, he's the bellwether of the European. He's the heart and soul of the European team. On paper, I think Europe has a really, really good chance to pull an upset.
Whit Watson, listen to him every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. right here on FM 96.9 The Game, making the cut. Also be listening to him broadcasting on Westwood One Radio. Ryder Cup tonight, starts tonight, goes through Sunday. Thank you, Whit.
You got it. Enjoy the matches, boys.
Whit Watson. All right, straight ahead. Are you a Judge guy or are you a Cal Raleigh guy? Who is the MVP of the AL? We'll get into that debate next.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
Football season has been white hot. You've got a lot of games that you can bet on this weekend. College football, NFL. We've got Cardinals, Seahawks tonight. We were just talking with Whit Watson about the Ryder Cup. That also available over on Florida's only legal sports book, Hard Rock Bet. Team USA to take home the win, -145. If you want to be anti-American and take Europe, it's +150. If you're looking for an edge on your next bet, you can find crazy stats and trends over on the Hard Rock Bet Stats Hub. So there you can find the latest line moves, the hottest streaks, and more. And how about this doozy? The Chiefs have won 10 straight home games against fellow AFC opponents. This week they have the Baltimore Ravens coming in, and Kansas City is installed as an underdog. Sign up today, bet $5 on any game. If it wins, you can also score $150 in bonus bets. Get the party started over on Hard Rock Bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Orlando, are you ready to rock it? My favorite beach getaway, Hard Rock Hotel Daytona Beach, is calling your name. Not even an hour's drive from downtown Orlando. You'll find modern luxury, legendary Hard Rock vibes, and that endless Florida sunshine. Even in the middle of winter, lounge by the oceanfront pool, grab a bite at their world-famous restaurant, or unwind at the spa. And when the sun sets, enjoy live music under the stars at their beachside band shell. For reservations, go to hardrockhotels.com/Daytona Beach.
Two right lanes are blocked on I-4 eastbound at the beach line. There's a crash on Sidell Road at Avalon Road. That crash on the ramp from the express lanes of I-4 eastbound to the regular lanes of I-4, that's been cleared up. Traffic's getting by a little bit better now. The roadways are wet out there. That might be slowing down your ride just a bit more than usual. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
iHeartRadio brings you Global Citizen Festival 2025 from New York City at Central Park's Great Lawn. Live performances from Shakira, Cardi B, Tyla, Ira Star, Mariah the Scientist, Camilo, and many more. All hosted by Hugh Jackman. Join the movement changing the world at globalcitizenfestival.com. Hear the entire festival live all day this Saturday on the free iHeart app's Global Citizen Radio and on Hit Nation at 10 p.m. Eastern.
iHeartRadio Earth is here with a new way to enjoy our beautiful planet.
When exploring outdoor areas like local parks or a historic urban neighborhood this spring, be sure to recreate responsibly to protect yourself and the environment. Check the open status of a place before you visit, be respectful of others, and dispose of waste properly. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living, or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
Serving Central Florida since 1959, Eustace Roofing delivers expert care with every roof. Enjoy VIP treatment and get 15% off your new roof this month. Real craftsmen, real experts, real roofers. Schedule your free estimate at eustaceroofing.com.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call Trajan Wealth today at 407-213-0000. 407-213-0000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check if they're going for it on 4th down before going to the concession stand.
Yeah, give me 3 hot dogs, 2 jumbo.
Hey, buddy, you want cheese with those? Yeah, checking first is smart.
No.
So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
Catch the Fantasy Fix live every Sunday morning throughout the entirety of the NFL season. Who can we trust? Who's a mirage? Who do you need to start and put on the bench? We have all the updated information and advice for you every Sunday morning, streaming live across the state of Florida on the iHeartRadio app. It's fantasy football news up to the minute right here on FM 96.9 The Game. Don't set your lineup without us, and it all starts Sunday morning at 10 a.m. on the Fantasy Fix.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
I'm Burt Ward, Robin from TV's Batman, and I believe there's nothing more precious than life. 20 years ago, we got a dog for our daughter. Then she fell in love with 2 Great Dane puppies. We were worried about the short lifespan of dogs. We created Gentle Giant's dog and puppy food and a special feeding and care program to add years to the lives of our dogs. And we'd like to do the same thing for you and your dog. Life doesn't have to be too short for your best friend.
Gentle Giants, because there's nothing more precious than life.
Hey everybody, Daniel Jeremiah here. And I'm Bucky Brooks. On Move the Sticks, we take you inside the game, from breaking down college prospects and NFL rookies
to evaluating team building philosophies, coaching trends, and how front offices construct winning rosters.
We study the tape, talk to decision makers, and give you a perspective you won't find anywhere else. Listen to the Move the Sticks podcast on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow the Move the Sticks podcast and start listening on the free iHeart Radio app today.
We're with Liam after his 4th military move, when being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays, when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Orlando's hometown sports station. This is 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the free iHeartRadio app. Now back to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
The chance of MVP. MVP, the stretch of the pitch to Cal. Swinging a drive, deep to right field. There it is, number 60. The modern-day Bambino has just tied Babe Ruth's record of 60 home runs.
Wow. Cal Raleigh has been hot all year long. Got to 60 home runs last night with the Seattle Mariners as they clinched the AL West. The segment brought to you by Hourglass Brewing. Tomorrow we're going to be out at Hourglass, the district location off Curry Ford Road. Game On happy hour immediately after we go off the air, 6 to 7 p.m. We'll be hanging out there. Great way to kick off the weekend. That's tomorrow, district location at Hourglass Brewing. Meet us, Bianchi and I, as we go off the air. We'll try and drag Jaden out there, too, if you can make it in time.
I will try my best.
You're cordially invited. All right, so baseball is crazy right now. We'll get to the Cal Raleigh aspect of it. August 25th. On August 25th, Mike, the Detroit Tigers held a 12.5-game lead over the Cleveland Guardians. Checks standings. The Guardians have a 1-game lead on the Tigers. This might be the wildest turnaround that I've ever seen in baseball. And I know
they were behind 15.5 games at one point. 15.5 games the Guardians were behind the Tigers. And now they're in first place. If it holds, it'll be the biggest rally. Nobody's ever come from more than 14 games down to win the division.
Yeah, and they played each other in a series here. The Guardians even beat Tarek Skubal. The Tigers are falling apart. That was a team that I really liked to win the World Series very early on in the year, just seeing the way that they came together, but they're falling apart, so I don't think that one's going to hold. But let's continue to lay the groundwork here for our MVP discussion. You heard Cal Raleigh. He pelts 2 last night to get to 60. Here's Aaron Judge.
First pitch. Swing on, hit the center field, hit well. It's slicing, it's carrying. Giddy up and gone into the bullpen. A 3-run homer, Aaron Judge, number 50. And that's the 4th time he's hit 50 or more home runs in a season. He joins this list. Babe Ruth, Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa. The other guys have done it 4 or more times, hitting 50 home runs in a season.
Incredible. The guy's amazing. He's the best hitter in baseball overall. But when it comes to the MVP discussion, Mike, I default to the guy who plays the tougher position. That's Cal Raleigh. And I told myself that if Raleigh had to go, if he got to 60, that the argument would be over for me. He got to 60, so that's my pick. I think Cal Raleigh should be the AL MVP.
Ridiculous. The fact that he plays, it's not the most valuable catcher, all right? I understand he plays catcher, all right? But just because he's, as you just said, he plays the tougher position, Aaron Judge is the MVP. He's the leading hitter in the league. He's got the best on-base percentage in the league. He's got the best slugging percentage in the league. He's got the best OPS in the league. He's Cal Raleigh. What is he batting? 230 or something? He's batting 230.
He had a really rough July, okay? But
he's batting 230. Yes, he's hit a bunch of home runs, and he is a good defensive catcher. I'll give you that. And I'm not even saying you're wrong. I think Cal Raleigh will win the MVP.
Yeah, he is going to win the MVP.
Because he's a catcher, and he's broke these catching records for home runs. He broke Mickey Mantle's switch hitting home run record. He's got over 60 now. So, yeah. And he's playing for the Mariners, and they never do anything. All right. I think they've won 4 divisions in their history, and they just clinched their division. So he'll probably win it. But Aaron Judge is the most valuable player. You cannot convince me otherwise. And I hate the Yankees. But Aaron Judge is the best player in baseball.
If you were to go,
the best hitter in baseball.
He is the best hitter in baseball. I'm not even going to argue that. But is he the most valuable player this season is a different question. I do think team success matters. Both of them are pretty much neck and neck. But the Yankees have not locked up their division yet. The Mariners have. The Yankees do have one more win than Seattle does, so you can choose for yourself how much you're going to bake that in. Usually for whatever reason in baseball, team success when it comes to MVP seems to matter less than it does certainly in the NBA or in the NFL. But the fact that the Mariners locked up the division does matter to me. The fact that Cal Raleigh plays a more demanding position definitely matters. The last catcher
It's
to
not
win
like
the
Aaron Judge is a weak outfielder. He's a pretty damn good outfielder.
It's not
is he
about
a Gold Glove. I don't know.
It's not about whether or not he's bad or good at the position. It's just that being a catcher has inherent value that's greater than being a right fielder in general. And we never
being the leading hitter in baseball has inherent value too.
Exactly. So
batting 326 and leading the league in slugging percentage and having less strikeouts,
but we're splitting hairs here. See, it's not like Aaron Judge just blows Cal Raleigh away. There's a reason why this is a debate, because when you start to get into those minute details, now catcher versus right fielder matters. We haven't seen a catcher win the award since Joe Mauer in 2009. I think if you're going to give it to another one, this guy certainly makes a great case. Cal Raleigh doesn't play for the Yankees, so I love that. And he's a switch hitter on top of it.
I don't want to denigrate what Cal Raleigh's done. I'm trying to he's had an unbelievable year. He's probably going to win the MVP. But your argument that he plays a more demanding position, again, it's not the most valuable catcher. Yes, he plays catcher. I get it. But there's a reason catchers don't win MVPs that often. All right.
Because they're not jacking 60 home runs. That's why.
Yeah. And they're usually hitting about 230, which is what Cal Raleigh's hitting.
This is like the greatest catcher.
Cal Raleigh go look at Cal Raleigh's batting averages. And I realize the past doesn't matter. I think he hit 220 last year. He hit 211 the year before that. He's just yes, he hits home runs, but all the other times he doesn't get on base.
Well, but if you have the greatest season ever at the position that you play, for me, that locks it up. I mean, he's in a class now. Babe Ruth, Roger Maris, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds, and Aaron Judge, the only guys to ever hit 60 home runs in a season. I mean, come on. Let's not overthink this. Up next.
If Aaron Judge had played all the games this year, maybe he'd have 60.
Well, he didn't. And you know what? Availability is value, okay? Get on the field, Judge.
He only missed 10 games.
Scott Reynolds from PewterReport.com joins us to talk Bucks Eagles next.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
You know the Bulldog loves him a good backstory. Well, here's the backstory on Don Mealy Chevrolet. They were founded 50 years ago when Don Mealy moved his family from Maryland to Central Florida and started selling trucks. Today, his son Jay runs Don Mealy Chevrolet out there in Claremont, and he still treats customers like family. Jay even gives you his own personal email address, and right now, you can save up to $11,000 on a brand new 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500. They've got over 60 in stock, from the tough, reliable work truck to the top of the line High Country, which is the one I want. The Silverado is built to last, and so is the Mealy family. Don Mealy Chevrolet has been Central Florida's trusted truck dealer for half a century. Chevy, together, let's drive.
Betting exchanges have become the new craze in sports betting, and there is no one on the internet that does it better than BetterEdge. So transparent, so honest, so user-friendly. BetterEdge gives you that little extra advantage that you need. I've said it many times. I've bet on sports for a while. I did not start making money consistently until I started using BetterEdge. I also share competitions every Friday that we can dive into together as well. My Beat Brandon Challenge. Sign up for the first time, get $20 on the house. Just use the promo code BeatBrandon when you sign up at BetterEdge.com or on the BetterEdge app.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ready to order?
Yes.
We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
When you're injured in a car accident and the insurance company denies your medical bills, denies to pay your lost wages, and won't repair your car, it's time to fight back. Time to call Farah and Farah at 800-500-5555. Orlando.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan.
If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talon Comprehensive Financial Plan is complimentary. And when that plan's in hand, you will also receive the gift of a will and trust courtesy of Talon Wealth.
The folks at Talon Wealth are not attorneys, but they work with a group of attorneys who'll provide a will and trust at no charge to you. Reach out at 813-755-5000. 813-755-5000. One more time, that's 813-755-5000. And be sure and tell them that Clay and Buck sent you.
Advisory services offered through Talon Private Wealth, LLC, a SEC-registered investment advisor. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here.
I felt like family from the beginning, and it made a rather daunting task very, very easy.
They really take the time to find out what you want or what you desire in a ring.
You have to come here. There's no other option. The customer service, the time spent to do what I wanted and what her vision was, there's no other place to go.
You know you can go there, and you know that you can trust.
The value was extraordinary.
They genuinely care about their customers. It's not just about the sale. It's about the people.
International Diamond Center, the people's choice for selection, quality, value, and service.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger, and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
Altamont Springs, Waterford Lakes, and Mall at Millennium, and online at shopidc.com.
A clutch performance is great on the football field, but when it comes to your freedom, clutch play from your legal representation is vital. When your freedom's on the line, you need Trey Flynn in your corner. Trey is a board-certified criminal defense attorney with 18 years of criminal defense experience. Trey's record speaks for itself. He defends DUI cases, serious felonies, and will fight tooth and nail to protect your rights and your future. Visit TreyFlynn.com or dial 407-557-6350. Arrested today? Call Trey.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
Behold the Colonel's giant KFC chicken sandwich, a towering, extra crispy monument to flavor. Such a huge amount of juicy, hand-breaded KFC chicken at a pretty tiny $3.99 price for the Colonel's KFC chicken sandwich. I mean, $3.99 isn't even worthy of the same epic soundtrack as the KFC chicken sandwich for only $3.99. The Colonel lived so we could chicken.
Prices and participation vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Rapid radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Eustace Roofing. New roof, no mess.
Catch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all season long on Real Radio 104.1 and the free iHeartRadio app, sponsored by First Horizon Bank.
Week number 4 of the NFL season will kick tonight. It'll be an NFC West clash between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. It's in Arizona. UC football coach Scott Frost says his team is pushing through after the passing of offensive line coach Sean Clark as they prepare for their visit to Kansas State. And Orlando City SC is prepping for their next match. The Lions visit Cincinnati Sunday, looking to move up from 6th place in the East. I'm Scott Davidson.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz. Looking for an exceptional driving experience? Find it behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz SUV. Experience the power, precision, and intelligence of an iconic Mercedes-Benz SUV at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today.
Orlando's new home for Florida State football is AM 810 Fox Sports Radio Orlando. Hear every game live on AM 810 or search Fox Sports Radio Orlando on the free iHeartRadio app. Let's hit the local beat and see what's happening with the teams that call the state of Florida home. Sending you back to the studio. It's Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
The Bucks are going. They keep going. 3-0. Scott Reynolds, PewterReport.com, joins us. Bucks beat writer, been covering the team for 3 decades. Scott, they did it again. Another game-winning drive for Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Is this the most fun that you've had through the first 3 weeks of a Bucks season? I remember some Ryan Fitzpatrick games from years ago, but this has to be up there.
Yeah, it really is. It's entertaining, man. Buccaneer fans, they're getting their money's worth in terms of being at the game on Sunday, and then just certainly the entertainment factor watching those first 2 games of the season on the road. It's sensational, man. Baker Mayfield is the engine of the offense, the heartbeat of this team, and just an absolute dynamo of a player this year. He's getting all of the praise on social media. He's finally getting recognized as a legit MVP candidate, and why not? These are the Tampa Bay Clutchineers right now.
Clutchineers, I like that. The Bucs seem to be caught in the middle of some really good news or some really bad news on the injury report. Luke Gedeke is out. Mike Evans is out. Baker Mayfield is banged up. He's got a right bicep injury. Emeka Ibuka is banged up. And then you have Chris Godwin, who started practicing. Tristan Wirfs. Both of those guys could be on the way back. So what do we know? This could either be really, really good news by Sunday or really, really bad news.
Yeah, the team is hopeful that Godwin and Wirfs play in this game. They're trending in that direction right now. And certainly with Baker Mayfield, it's Thursday. He's got a couple more days to recover. He'll learn how to throw left-handed if he has to by Sunday to play. So there's not going to be anything that keeps him off the field. So, yeah, I think it's a little bit of good news here that the Bucs have not been fortunate without Mike Evans in the lineup. He is a key ingredient to their success. They lost all of the games without Mike last year after he pulled that hamstring really good, actually tore it against the Baltimore Ravens on Monday Night Football. Only missed 3 games because that 4th week was a bye week, and then he returned to action against the Giants after the bye and then caught fire and got that 1,000 yards again. But they're hopeful that it's just maybe a 2 or 3 week injury rather than a longer term injury. It's why they didn't put him on injured reserve. So that's good news. But yeah, this team would love to have Tristan Wirfs and Chris Godwin back in the lineup on Sunday.
Scott, I don't want to be a naysayer here, all right, but the Bucs are 3-0. They've won 3 games in the final drives of the game. They are banged up. I'm just wondering, is there any concern or on your part or the coach's part that, hey, yeah, we're winning, but we're barely winning, and we could go on a slide here? Are the Bucs a candidate to go on a slide, I guess is what I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, that's always the risk that you run, and history kind of suggests that, right? I mean, you look at the last 2 years, they've gone 0-4 during stretches, especially against really good teams. And you look at the teams on the schedule, it's the defending Super Bowl champion Eagles, an undefeated team this week. It's a very impressive Seattle team going up there to play the Seahawks on the road next week. And then after that, you've got the 49ers, which they're undefeated right now, banged up like the Buccaneers, but they've had the Bucs number each of the last 3 years. They've won, and so yeah, there's you run the risk a little bit there. Oh, and then, by the way, you've got the Detroit Lions on Monday Night Football up in Detroit. So it's a stretch where if you can come out of this 2-2 against some really good football teams, I think that's a win for the Buccaneers. That still puts this team at 5-2 through the first 7 games of the season. They just can't go over, right? Like they have the last couple of of years. And I think the defense is playing so much better this year that that's not going to happen. And Emeka Egbuka is playing. Remember the last year especially, they didn't have Chris Godwin and Mike Evans in those 3 losses after the Ravens game, and Mike went out early in that Ravens game as well. So I think their chances of not having that slide are increased, especially if Godwin and Wirfs come back and help this team.
Scott, why did the Bucks sign the big 400+ pound Desmond Watson from the University of Florida? Why did they bring him back on the practice squad? We were talking earlier. Is it because the tush push? They want to put him in the middle of the line this week when they're playing the Eagles. Are they even allowed to do that?
Yeah, they're allowed to do that. He could be called up from the practice squad, elevated. But Todd Bowles said that's not going to be the case. Really, I think if anything, he has been simulating Jordan Davis in practice, the big, massive Philadelphia defensive tackle. And, finding somebody that size is really hard to do. You don't want to put Vita Vea, one of your starters, out there on the scout team just to give a look to the offense. So I think Desmond Watson is certainly the perfect guy for that. I'm not sure what he's weighing now, but it's certainly closer to 400 pounds. I mean, he has lost some weight. I saw him in the locker room today. He looked remarkably different than he did a couple of weeks ago when he was released. So, you know what? It's a good reward for this guy. They have invested some time and energy into him and seeing if they can, get a football player out of him, right? And I think if it never happens, if he never gets promoted from the practice squad to the active roster, I think there's a little bit of humanitarian aid here. I mean, Desmond Watson's morbidly obese. And I think just having him get, on the nutrition train, lose weight, it's going to help him be a better football player, but it's going to help him be a better human being, too, from a health standpoint.
I'm talking to Scott Reynolds from pewterreport.com. Last thing for you, Scott. It seems to me like Todd Bowles is lightening up. I mean, he made a joke about having a secret lover on the team after the game on Sunday, and then he's joking about only being welcomed at Philly cheesesteak restaurants in Philadelphia because he was called a hero there for his stance on the tush push. You covered the team closely. Do you get the sense that are these clips just making their way out to the media now, or has he actually changed? He seems like a different Todd Bowles to me.
Here's the thing. I've talked to Todd. I've been in his office. I've had off the record conversations with him, and that's really how he's like in real life. He's that way. He's very jovial, very self-deprecating. He's got a great sense of humor. It's just sometimes up at the podium, he's a little bit more stoic. Sometimes you have to catch him in the right mood. Sometimes after practice is not the best time to catch Todd. He's not in the best mood sometimes, but you know what? I think he's more comfortable now, right? He's not Bruce Arians' replacement. He's Todd Bowles, the head coach. He's established some things on his own, not just being Bruce Arians' successor. And that first year was rough, right? I mean, he had a losing record, and then they lost in the playoffs that first season, in Tom Brady's last year at Tampa Bay. And then he wins 9 games, and they win a playoff game, and then they lose a playoff game. Then last year they won, 10 games. And quite honestly, they lost the playoff game to Washington. They had an opportunity to maybe pull a switcheroo and possibly go with the shiny new toy, which was Liam Cohen, right? 30 points per game on offense. That's kind of the trend that this league is heading in, hiring that young hotshot offensive coordinator, right? But the Bucs valued Todd Bowles as a leader of men, and they gave him a big contract extension. But more importantly, the vote of confidence, which is, you know what, we're going to let Liam Cohen leave. He can go to Jacksonville, become the head coach there. We're sticking with you. And I just think that was a huge shot of confidence for Todd. Not that he was lacking confidence, but it just piled even more goodwill and confidence on top of that. Plus, this is a guy that has gone from 8 wins to 9 wins to 10 wins. And he's won 3 straight division championships. No other Bucs coach has ever done that. John Gruden won 3 during his tenure, but certainly not in his first 3 years. So Todd Bowles has got a good thing going now. I think he's more comfortable in his own skin. And more importantly, as the defensive coordinator on this team, I think he really likes his defense this year. It's not banged up. They've got a lot of guys back healthy, and they've added some real key pieces this year. with Hassan Reddick and Jacob Parrish, who got his first sack, and Benjamin Morrison. So I think right now Todd Bowles is in a really good place.
Well, good. We like funny Todd Bowles. Scott Reynolds, PewterReport.com, Bucks beat writer over there. Thanks so much, Scott. Appreciate you.
Always a pleasure, guys. Have a great week. Thank you.
Got a big one coming up on Sunday, Bucks, Eagles. Have you made a pick on that one, by the way, Mike? You're going to wait for tomorrow?
Yeah.
All right, the picks, football picks presented by Yingling. Our six-pack comes your way, 5 o'clock hour every Friday. Up next, we want to hear from you. Hit us up on the iHeartRadio Talk Back. Tap that microphone icon and fire away. Enter the Rage Cage. It's the only way to win
No tickets if you don't enter the Rage Cage. No tickets.
UCF campus tickets. One way to do it. Enter the cage. We're back with your talkbacks and texts next.
Game on with Bianchi and